it looks creative. It must be Paul's, and we must be talking quantum sensing at this point.
You're right on, Pat. The quantum, I got interested in quantum sensing about 6 years ago for several reasons based on personal experience with some experimental HF I've done and micro HF stuff, and quantum sensing just kind of fit into it. Sensing is important to the DoD. They've got 3 areas that they're looking at that they need to maintain a technological edge on: sensing, encryption, and communications. And so right now they put a lot of money and a lot of emphasis behind quantum sensing about 2 years ago. And a couple of things are coming out right now. They've just released a quantum device to measure where they're at in space and that type of thing. And it's a prototype. There's other different types of prototypes that they've released. One of them is by a private company. They did get some help from the government called Reedberg Technologies, and they've got developed basically kind of a quantum receiver. It's like a quantum receiver combined with an antenna, and it looks like to me that down the road that this is certainly going to disrupt a couple of industries. One is that right now we use sophisticated software-defined receivers, and in order to receive HF frequencies and stuff, we have to have these basically huge antennas. Antennas are built based on wavelengths, and you go from the lower frequencies from 3 to 30 megahertz. It runs from actually a little lower than that, down 1.8 megahertz. It's got a wavelength of 160 meters, so it's nothing short. If you look at an antenna for a mobile transmitter or something, it can be very short. So it's got the potential. Technology's got the potential to really disrupt some of the things. We've got quantum gyroscopes that are coming out. In addition, of course, we've got atomic clocks right now, and they're pretty amazing. They got calibration of losing 1 second every couple of million years. So it's pretty precise measurement by these quantum devices. We've got quantum devices that can measure the gravity, and gravity is a very weak force. It's very tiny, and they're able to detect things like underground tunnels and mineral deposits and even navigation if GPS isn't available. And they've got quantum magnetometers for measuring quantum magnetic fields, and use it for like directionality, compass readings, orientation, and these things can all be applied to navigation areas. So all in all, for our defense industry, I think it's very important. It's a huge opportunity for down the road for companies that are working on quantum sensors. And it'd be interesting to see what happens. I mean, they can be used in drones and ships and aircraft and just about everything. So it's multi-billion-dollar industry in the making.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Like, Paul, you educated me on this.
Interesting. What they do, they use rubidium as a good atom to use for Reedberg, because it's got 36 electrons in the inner orbits, and it's got 1 electron in the outer orbit. And what they do is inject some energy into that atom with a laser, and they force that outer electron, far away from where the nucleus is, and it becomes very sensitive to like electrical fields and stuff like that.
Blowing me away here. I think 2 years ago you educated me that there were some quantum applications that are real, that are actually being used already, not to be confused with quantum computing.